Georgetown University is a private research university in Washington, D.C., founded in 1789. It is one of the oldest universities in the United States, so clearly it has a bit more legends and stories that date back further than most other colleges. I know for a fact that my college has nowhere near as many ghost stories as this one, so without further ado, let's look into the paranormal claims of Georgetown University. Since before the American Civil War, witnesses say that on the anniversary of General Edward Braddock's departure into the French and Indian War, people can hear the sounds of shouting military orders, horses' hooves on cobblestone, the sound of men marching, and the sound of metal clanging against other metal. The sounds can be heard along or near the old Long Bridge or near the Georgetown Bluffs overlooking the Potomac River. Now I'm probably going to pronounce this wrong because I always pronounce these types of houses wrong, but the Helkyung House, I'm just going to leave what it's written down below because you can pronounce it later. Well, this place is allegedly haunted with the spirits of numerous runaway slaves who died there during their escape to freedom, as this place was allegedly a stop on the Underground Railroad. These slaves' moans and cries can be heard from the basement, and other claims that a ghost of Benjamin Stewart can be seen and heard walking throughout the house, sitting in a chair, and whispering at a level of audio that is not too well heard. The spirit of a woman has also been spotted in the upstairs window, and a 6-year-old visitor claims that a woman frequently wakes him up at night by rearranging his covers. 2 residents also say that they have experienced levitation during the night, with their bodies being reverted so that their feet would be up where the pillow is. I'd probably leave if I were them. Unnamed residents have also said and told that lights would mysteriously go out and that they would hear sounds up in the attic. So basically normal haunting stuff. There's also an unexpectedly large amount of spirits that residents and visitors claim to inhabit the old stone house. Now I'm going to actually list these because there are a lot, and I really don't want to look into every single one of these ghosts because I feel like I'm not even going to be able to find any information on each one of them. So I'm just going to list them, and here we go. A woman in a brown dress standing near the fireplace, a heavy-set woman standing on the staircase and also in the kitchen, a man with long hair and wearing a blue jacket, a man wearing short pants and long stockings, a woman in a rocking chair on the 3rd floor, a small boy who runs up and down the 3rd floor hallway, a man dressed in colonial-era clothing standing in the master bedroom, a man dressed in colonial-era clothing seen on the 2nd floor, a young girl with curly hair running up and down the staircase, an African-American boy, a German-looking craftsman, the sounds of invisible laughter from children, and the translucent images of women cooking in the kitchen have also been observed. The Old Stone House is also known to contain Washington's most maleficent spirits, nicknamed George, who has been known to choke and push visitors, and whose presence leaves witnesses with an intense feeling of dread. Bridges in Georgetown may also be the site of ghostly activity, as 2 specters have been said to haunt the site of the M Street Bridge. The M Street Northwest is known on the Georgetown side as the Bridge Street, before the street was renamed in 1895. In 1788, a wooden drawbridge was built over Rock Creek that connected the Bridge Street with the M Bridge Street Northwest in Washington. But this bridge quickly collapsed in a rainstorm shortly after it was built, taking a stagecoach full of passengers along with it. The Federal Bridge, a much sturdier structure, was built over top as a replacement in 1802. However, from the early 19th century and into the early 20th century, Georgetown residents claimed to see a silent stagecoach race down the Bridge Street on starless nights, only to vanish halfway upon the new bridge. Another apparition said to haunt a bridge was that of a drummer boy who allegedly was knocked off the bridge with a gust of wind and drowned in Rock Creek. On quiet nights, witnesses claim to hear the soft sound of drumming that can get only louder when you get to the center, but disappears mysteriously upon reaching the spot where the boy drowned. The image of a headless man whose origin is a bit of a mystery due to no one knowing who he is, hence, no head and no face to identify. This guy has also been seen haunting the Georgetown side of the K Street Northwest Bridge over Rock Creek as well. Now, if you ask me, guys, this is pretty basic stuff if you really think about it. I mean, this college has been around for years, decades, and it has a much richer history than most other universities in the United States. I'm not saying that most don't, but I mean, if you think of it and consider it, this place is located around an area where a lot of war has happened. I mean, you got the Revolutionary, you got the Civil War, you got the War of 1812, all taking place in this area. So there's a lot of turmoil that's happening. Not to also exclude the fact that this is in the nation's capital, so there's going to be a lot of drama and a lot of turmoil and energy just flowing everywhere. So I can understand why so many spirits are inhabiting Georgetown and the areas around it. But personally, I'm a little bit jealous because the only place that we have that's close by is, I guess, maybe, I don't know, Eastern State, maybe. That's probably the biggest thing if you don't want to drive all the way up into Gettysburg. But I mean, what do you guys think? Because I personally want to know, are there any haunted colleges near you? And if so, write them in the comments. And they might even show up in next month's episode of this series. Or if you just want to write down a location nearby in your hometown that is like haunted, maybe a prison or maybe a church, because I know there's a lot of those too for some reason. You'd probably think the Catholic Church would get a rap on all this haunting. But write those in the comments below. I really want to look in to see what those are, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you for staying with us to the end. If you enjoyed this journey, hit the like button down below and leave a comment in the comment section. I always consider suggestions for new videos and topics, so do not be shy. Also, do not forget to subscribe in order to stay up to date on all things unexplained. Until then, I hope to see you again next time as we take another trip into the realm of the unknown.